items he could have gone, even like those late game refrain. About this one.
I mean, but as you say, if it ends up being that extra little bit of burst to get someone killed underneath the cover of the E-Blade, then it instantly pays off. If you're able to take one of those cores out of the fight, as you mentioned, before they can pop a BKB, massive item pickup, but it's a lot of ifs and buts. When we may see sort of in these fights him unable to sort of get the opportunity to do so.
Typically, you think support, you're thinking, what's the item I can get to help out my Lincoln Siege, Lotus Orb, the 4-star, the Glimmer Cage. Those are the items you normally look towards.
Ah, look at this though. Na'Vi finally finding the opportunity to really get stuck into the pit.
DC should know that. They're going to run another near mid.
Firefly on the side does have the arcane room ready to play with, but we can see so. Get food. They hold one trial. There's the grab. The beast for the cancel for the hook shot. Paying off. Owie getting bursted low as well. Crystallized. We'll have waveform back up in 5 seconds. Owie continue to retreat. Ritsu will get onto the high ground and TC back to safety. But Owie in more than trouble. Gets caught out by the Burrow Strike. The E-Blade as well. DC lose 4. And Na'Vi, yeah, LeBron, we'll take it again. Another death for the Bane, but more than happy for that if you are Na'Vi at this stage of the game, because that will open you up with the chance to go back into Roshan, claim that Aegis with no chance of DC getting in for a look in.
And the Gem Lord too, that's a pretty big swing. That extra kind of Aegis for gold Na'Vi good Aegis, that is the fight. You know, it's been building up. At 30 minutes of Dota without a team fight, but one big fight was kind of what we're looking at to decide the outcome of the game. DC did that good big initiation, but the instant blink Burrow Strike. General has been such a big player for Na'Vi time and time again, and he shows it there. Luke didn't even get the 4-stuff off. He blinked, he tried to turn to use his, after the last one, to use his 4-stuff to pull away, but he didn't even get that off. Great fast reactions, and then the Lincoln Sphere from the Crystallize was actually cast on Dendi, which stopped some of the follow-up spells, so very well done. It stopped, I think it even just stopped the Spirit Lance, but even a bit of damage there means Dendi is a lot healthier when he gets that BKB off. Bottom lane Dendi's actually gone off.
Yes, BKB comes out, and Howie cut off, gets the hook shot, Dendi still with the BKB, continues to retreat, he needs help, and he needs him now. Puts the Rev at the Requiem, that's down out the side, there's the Fiend's Grip, the nuke damage, Lil, with the leveled up now, Dagon. You know, if you go Dagon, you commit, and Lil is. It's level 2 at the moment, and he's going to keep maxing it out until 5 at this stage, because it's paying off. He got a triple kill last fight, now he's just getting all the kills secured. He's looking to pad up those stats, and I don't think his team's going to be too mad. This Elder Titan, pretty damn scary.
It's crazy, because Na'Vi didn't really have damage issues, but hey, now they definitely don't with the Dagon. It's DC who have damage issues. We saw in the mid lane, you lasso this Shadow Fiend, even if that Burrow Strike isn't there, I don't feel like they have good burst damage at all. The Gyrocopter, BKB, Lincoln's Drum. No, this guy's not doing damage. Your PL kind of does damage. He's got Diffuse on Manta into a Heart of the Grasp. None of his heroes kill. And that's where the Morphling is a huge problem. I think the one nice bit of damage with the Morphling is like Maledict, but BKB on both Morphling and SF means Maledict isn't even reliable damage. So
what's up? General with the Yule setup, Burrow Strike as well. They're going to have to sleep, and Epi holding him down. Is it enough food? Can't get himself out of here. General finds the setup for yet another kill for Na'Vi. As Na'Vi, 33 minutes in, leading 13-8, and with a 10k gold lead. Bottom lane Ritsu, forced to pop the BKB.
Bad fast for him. It's one of those things where DC's just being forced to go ultra defensive with their items and their play, and they're not playing to win. They're playing just to stall the game out. It just feels like the game is, you know, they're staying in it. They've still got two towers
easy
up.
farm for Crystallize. He's got the flak. Waves are gone. Doesn't even need to use a waveform. Waveform, that's so 2017 Morphling. You know, in 2018 now, it's all about dealing that gyro spells. So what they can do mid Na'Vi. They have the full 5-man setup. DC 10 seconds without Moon. They've got to be so careful about coming anywhere close to this tower. Ryle, considering the sort of the pace of the game that Na'Vi are playing, he's still playing very, very strong in terms of his farm. He's up there in a comparable position to both Crystallize and Denton.
Yep.
Very close behind. The real question is how much of an impact can he actually have in these fights?
He needs every item he can get. He's not farmed enough. That's the crazy thing. As much as he is kind of on par, he needs Butterfly. He needs his level 25, I think, is the big thing. That crit built in is going to give him at least a bit more damage to fight into the Shadow Fiend, the Morph one. He needs a way to deal with the Butterfly as well. So the evasion on Dendy makes him a lot stinkier, and Brawl does not have a good way to pierce through that yet.
Lil, up again, down to the level 3.
Happy camper.
Oh, DC.
Close to Dendy, but we've seen how much they struggle with him. And Dendy with the Lincolns, I don't know how you actually start fights Batrider against this net point. Very challenging situation. They don't have a... They've got okay... If they, theoretically, they could break the Lincolns to get a lasso, but it's going to take them a lot of tools to do so. And then at that point, have you got the damage to follow it up? Not really.
Here we go, Na'Vi. Once again, looking to smoke. They know that Lil, he's got that Dagon up to level 3. Time to put it to good work. Na'Vi hunt for a catch. DC, I realize there's many members of Na'Vi off the map. Instantly back up to the high ground, making sure not to get caught out by these sort of smoke rotations.
And that gem loss, you can kind of see here how much it hurts DC, because two very deep aggressive wards lay directly outside DC's base. And this is where... That's kind of how you get further ahead. When you're in a Na'Vi situation and your opponents are curling in their base, you put wards right outside their base and you starve them out. When DC had a gem, it's a lot more difficult to do that, because DC were able to de-ward these, and then they could actually push out lanes safely, knowing that Na'Vi had limited vision. They really need to buy a new gem as much. Oh yeah, they've got a new gem. Okay, Moon's bought a new gem. They need to find these wards to take him out as soon as possible.
Again, the game pulling back to this sort of passive stages that we've seen for the large priority of it. We are seeing to certainly favor Na'Vi. They continue to get further and further again, and wow, I mean, I'm not surprised. Only 5 ETs have purchased a Dagon since TI5. Not surprised that yeah, Lil would be one to join them. Definitely one of the bit of an innovator in terms of hero picks, and this time in terms of item builds.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Tier 1 elimination. That is a big reason why these teams are playing so cautiously. Na'Vi with their leader even feels like they could be shoving these lanes a bit more, keeping DC more under pressure and trying to, you know, more actively try to find pickoffs. But I think Na'Vi themselves are feeling like their lineup is going to win them the late game. Let's just, you know, play a bit more passively than we perhaps need to because of what's at stake here. They're a team that's, you know, barely in the top 8 of CPC. They really want to get some points here in Indonesia.
Absolutely stepping it up big time on the land main stage here. Ritsu continuing to make his way towards that butterfly.
Big little difference. You go past the cores who are, you know, for DC, the PL's kind of close. The Gyro, he's a bit further, but, you know, supports are really struggling on the DC side. And the off-laner, you've got a 4-position Lil who has more farm than the 3-position Batrider. Sandking has got 12k net worth. It's very sad state for the 3 DC players who are not farming.
An interesting decision here from Brawl. Goes for the Nullifier after the Harp for that extra bit of lockdown and control. If they could get on top of the Morph or of course that SF, but it is going to be hard with the Lincolns in play. As long as you can pop it and get it off, it could result in a kill.
Got Diffusal, got Spirit Lance, has ways to break it.
Yeah.
And if you see a PL running at you, you're not going to just instantly pop your BKB, so theoretically, if he runs it like an SF and like breaks his Lincoln, then instantly nullifies him, you could go for that kill. The big thing with Nullifier is the synergy it has with silences. He's got the Orchid queued up. The silence plus Nullifier, effectively that hero has no escape. You can't use your BKBs, you can't use your escape spells, you're done for. That's where you can kill anyone on the map theoretically if they don't have an A on disc. A on disc is like the one item you can get where it's like, oh, you don't actually die to this combo.
Fly, my pretty.
We'll see if he can get there. We'll see if he can actually get to his level 25 as well, which is the other big boost to his damage output.
And Dendy, at this stage, we've seen sort of a few mid laners do this when they have this much amount of farm, queuing up the Cypher Vice so they can have that sort of extra game-ending lockdown.
Yeah, he's gone for a very kind of right-click oriented build up until this point, not going for like the Blink, the Yules, using those like easy Requiem combos, but he still has the Shadow Rays damage, and he's still likely almost certainly going to get the cooldown reduction.
Absolutely.
With a Hex, that Hex is just has such high uptime that it's very hard to fight into.
Lead continuing to grow here for Na'Vi. DC have managed to slow it down a little bit with the fact that they are able to obviously also farm out the lanes as the pressure's being kept on by Na'Vi. Na'Vi are maintaining that lead, and we're yet to see DC able to really swing it back around at all this game, as Na'Vi have maintained control of the advantage for the entirety of this 40 minutes so far.
We'll be seeing like the big level 25 coming into play this game. More playing halfway to his level 25, and Shadow Fiend just hitting level 24 as well. Shadow Fiend's the big one. More playing, you know, it's okay. I'm not sure which one you'll get. I think the waveform charges have seen a bit of. I don't think either of those is really a big game changer. The PLs though, that's the one on the DC side they really look to for being a big late game talent.
Ritsu, worth mentioning as well, he did, as I say earlier, have the butterfly queued up, but changed his mind, went for the S&Y instead. I guess he just wanted sort of that extra bit of snap survivability now at this stage, but it is going to mean that damage output is still going to be lacking for DC.
I'm not sure about S&Y, but I also don't know what is the item. The butterfly isn't really damaged. It's stun survive. Butterfly and S&Y to me are very similar. They're just like kind of these hybrid items where it's stun damage, some survivability, a bit of everything. Movement speed they both give. And I think that's what Ritsu feels like. This game's going to be carried by the PL, so he can just go for like very stable, stay alive type item pickup. He's very fast. Max movement speed. But he's not going that all in. I feel like a lot of players well, not a lot of players. I feel like one player particularly, Envy, comes to mind, who in his shoes would have gone much bigger. He would have been like, I'm getting a rapier. It is a pretty desperate position that DC are in. They're maybe getting to the point soon where they're going to have to go for some
I think they might have
bold plays.
Certainly hope we do get to see some rapier action here on the main stage. Always exciting, especially in these best of ones. And as you mentioned earlier, you can absolutely feel that both teams. I don't think they play like this in a best of 3. This is super safe play from both sides with this best of 1, everything on the line in terms of tournament hopes here at GSC.
Wouldn't play like this if it was a bracket game as well.
Will find the opening. That's going to be the backup from Maui. They've got the control onto Lil. Will get forced down out the Cox there. The rest of Na'Vi switching across. Crystallize goes forward with the beam grip as well. They hold Aoi down. A couple of razors will finish him. They get the clock. Ritsu with the BKB heads straight towards Crystallize, but Crystallize with no BKB mans up. Wait for forward. He's punching it to Ritsu. Dead falls down, but General catches it straight away. The burrows go. Ritsu falling low. He's still alive for now.
Oh, the flag!
He's going to die. Crystallize gets it. Quickly with the flag. The attack from that low range connects onto Ritsu. Trying to find something to return, but General is back in with the power strike. The zap from Lil. They've claimed 4 again. General with that buyback, securing that crucial kill onto a second floor. As now Na'Vi, they're up to the high ground, pushing onto the base. Ritsu and Bryle do have buyback available. But this mid laner Frax looking to be in a whole world of trouble as Na'Vi claim the tier 3, claim the melee and range racks as DC look unable to do anything to stop this onslaught.
What's going on here? They're lost. I don't think they can afford to give up multiple lanes of rack. You're going to have to buy back. You may as well do it.
He's trying to get in, and now he will. Straight on the hook shot. Crystallize those out himself out. Looks towards the win. Dr. Belty low. Desi with the BKB in the right way. Turns towards tanking. Crystallize before the win from the General with the FB. Straight on top of Brian. Brian will fall. It's a dieback on the PL. Ritsu getting sent towards as well as Crystallize and Dendy look for the chase down. Forcing DC back to base. Moon tries to jump on Dendy with the link in there. GG is called, ladies and gentlemen. Na'Vi hold on to their tournament hopes and dreams here at GSC Jakarta as they knock out the Easy.
Such a tense game, you can see it. Na'Vi, it feels like, had the edge from start to finish, but it really took a lot of composure to seal the deal, because DC were not going to quit. They held on for a long time. They made Na'Vi earn that win, and Na'Vi could see the nerves there. They definitely played it very slow, but they got that win.
Absolutely. Na'Vi as a unit playing incredibly safely, and this is the sort of Na'Vi that I think a lot of other teams are going to be scared of here on land. You know, there's Na'Vi, and then there's Na'Vi with momentum.